Hey, beautiful people, it's Rickita back with another video. So in this video, I want to teach you guys how you guys can go from the 400s to the 700s, like literally what you need to do with this one simple trick. And it's not necessarily a trick, but I listen to this thing every morning by Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. And it's so simple. He say you may think it's a trick, but it's so simple. It's just do better than you always did before. You just go above and beyond. You always do your best, and you always think positive. Simple, and you're gonna get everything you want. Basically, do whatever it takes. It's simple. Like it's very. That's how I comprehend it. Is that simple. So with this thing very simple too. And I want to warn y'all that it's very simple, but as long as you're doing this, everything else is going to stay in check when it come down to your credit if you're doing this one thing. Because if you understand this thing, then you can always know how to get yourself back to the 700s if you find yourself going down to the 500s or even the 600s. So this one simple thing is this. When I was trying to figure out about my credit cards, about debt, wondering why my credit score is taking going up and down, I realized that my biggest problem was my utilization. It was my utilization. So what I did was I started to track it, and I started to look on Credit Karma, and I used to think, okay, let me just pay each credit card down. And I just got into a crazy cycle where I never really had a system of maintaining my credit cards until I created this here, which was simpler for me. And this is just for me. This is what's helping for me. You guys may have something that's maybe easier for you all and may help you guys. But my biggest thing is always utilization in a sense, because now I'm in a journey where if I get credit cards, my biggest thing is, can I get 0% APR, or, to make it worth it? Is it something I need to do where you guys are not going to charge me interest for a year or so? I like to do that with credit cards now. And those are credit cards I want to go towards. So I love to know what my utilization is for tracking all of my credit cards. So I created this sheet right here, and you can list let me tell you how you fill it out. You have to list all of your credit cards here, whatever your current balance is on your credit cards, whatever the limit is, and it's going to tell you what your current percentage of utilization is. Now, I found that when I keep my utilization at 5% or below, you guys, my credit score is always the highest. So this is what I always want to aim for. This green, that's where the money at. That is the place where you want to be. And this is the percentage where you're at. And to me, 5% is where I always want to be. And then we have all of these other ones over here where we got 10%. If you wanted to say, hey, I'm going to pay all my credit cards down to 10%, then this is the number that needs to be your balance. You need to have this or less to be at that 10%, or at a better percentage rate going down. 30%, this is where you need to be, or lower. And then also 50%, you need to be at $5,000 as a balance or lower. So right now, this credit card that has a $200 limit with Capital One has a $199 balance, which is a 99% utilization. When this utilization starts going down every month, like say I'm paying off to 50%, I'm going to bring that balance from 199 to 100. You're going to see your credit score go up, because look, you go from 99% utilization to a 50% utilization. That's a big jump down. Now, again, I said that sweet spot is at 5%. So if they want to have their utilization at 5%, they need to have this as a balance. So that means you need to subtract 100 minus this. That's what I always do. Just 100, whatever the balance is, minus what you want your balance is. And that's what I always make sure I pay off if this is the goal for me to get here, to be at a 5%, to be at a 10%, because you may get to the point where you got multiple credit cards like this, you got multiple debts that you need to pay. If you get extra money, you need to know which one will be wiser to pay off soonest to get your credit score higher, especially if you're trying to apply for a credit card. So the simplest thing is this, you guys. Always with your credit cards, if you want to go from 400 to 700, if you follow this, you're going to stop so many problems. And I'm going to go through all the problems after this. As long as you pay your statement balance by the due date, and then you make sure that you're not having more than that 5%, the 10%, don't no more than 29% ever, unless it's a 0% APR credit card or you just don't care about your credit at the time. Don't let it report more than that 29%. Okay. And again, your credit score can go up and down, up and down. Say if they did report 29%, but you paid your statement balance, so you don't care, let them report a higher balance. You can just pay it down the next month. Your credit score can go right back up. This right here is going to be the biggest factor. Now, this is what I want you guys to understand. I do have that on my website if you guys want a copy of that. But I want you guys to understand this. When I learned about this, I realized that when I just made sure I paid my statement balance by my due date and I made sure I kept my utilization low, I always kept the highest credit score. I did not have late payments because, again, I'm always paying my bills. So how can I ever have a late payment? And make sure you guys set all of your bills on auto pay for the minimum balance, period, if you haven't done that already. I'm not going to get charge-offs on my credit. Charge-offs are not going to turn into collection, so I don't have new negative accounts coming. My credit score has no choice but to continue to go up year after year. And also, if you don't have any credit, usually you got a 400 credit score, you got negative accounts that you need to delete. And let me show you, for those people that don't know, I have some free dispute letters on my website, Rickita.com. So you can use this free dispute letter here to get your negative accounts removed from your credit reports. And that right there alone, if you got like collections, charge off, bankruptcy, you need to get that stuff deleted, even with getting more credit cards. But that alone should bring you up to the 600s, the 500s, the high 500s. And them credit cards, again, you can't even do this simple trick without getting the credit cards. So don't forget, that's a whole nother step too. For those people that's like, okay, you got 400 credit score, what credit card you gonna get? See, that's the thing. You're gonna go from the 400s to the 700s because you got to implement certain things. You got to learn how to start managing your credit correctly. And you got to learn how to get your credit cards. Okay, I need 4 of them. I need to keep the balance low on them in terms of the 5%, 10%, whatever you want to aim towards. I need to make sure I got everything on auto pay, all the different things that you need to implement. But once you get everything in order and you follow this one simple thing, your credit score is going to always stay very high. And it's going to continue to go even higher than the 700s, especially if you got a mortgage on your credit report. So I just wanted to come with this message, and I hope that this is going to help those people that have problems with their utilization, because sometimes you don't see it as a problem, but as soon as you pay off that debt, you're like, oh my gosh, my credit score is good. And it's like, your credit score could have always been that, as long as you knew how to manage your credit. So go ahead and get that on my website if you guys need it. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. But understand that I'm personally only answering questions from those people that subscribe to me. So if you have any questions, put them down below. Just make sure you are subscribed, and I'll make sure I answer those questions. I'll see you guys in the next video.